Once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome everyone. Thank you for coming and participating. Again, we continue to go over the teaching of the gracious teacher, Dudjom Rinpoche, which is of course teaching of the great master or the gracious kindness teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni. Now, we are in the fourth lines of these teachings, still on the fourth line, because I'm kind of going over how we come out of samsara, or how we change and transform the samsara. How ancient those great masters, when they reach enlightenment or when they become the Buddha within their lifetime, what they do, how they followed and how they applied teaching of the gracious kindness teacher of the Buddha Shakyamuni. That's what we're really going. These great masters lay out so beautifully how they practiced, how they meditated by their compassion to all of us. They put the exactly manual and tips how to make this precious life meaningful, something that we can reward and happy and joy for ourselves, and happy and joy for the others. How they did, how they started this. This is as he said the other day, and they divided in the time in the two periods or twin. The period of the practicing period and the period of the then non-practicing period. So two things. Non-practice period and practice period both have to be kept up on the identity of the practitioners. If we really like to keep this meaningful life if we can. And how to do that? That is, as he said, good heart, the compassion, both each other, with the mindfulness. Mindfulness is the assistant to keep up our identity and our qualities, what we like to do. And mindfulness is also ours. Not is something that we have to go and get somewhere else. We have that mindfulness. But what are we going to do? Mindfulness? Compassion, loving kindness. When we start reflecting mind on those beautiful thoughts or the body together, that is itself with the super duper mindfulness. With this, when we now do the practice, such as a period of the practice time, then we should reflecting that first time, at the very beginning, these four renunciation thoughts. Four renunciation thoughts in the Tibet, known as Ngim Yong Bye, or Lodo Number Bye, or Henlo Bye, means the same thing. But it's very important. It's the cornerstones of the building of the practices. If somehow we didn't have this cornerstone foundation, our building will be shaky, or building of the practice will be shaky. Therefore, the these four renunciation thoughts are really very, very important. According all the masters and those who reach the enlightenment in the practice and lineage, mentioned one voice, these four renunciations. Among that, the four renunciations, again, I will list it, of course, we all know now. Now, you know already that, but we know that first is precious lives. Reflecting this life is so precious, so beautiful, so special. It's much more special, much more precious than the diamond of the same size of body. Size of the body. It's this more precious. And so reflect that. And why we have to reflect? Because we didn't get this precious life without any cause and conditions, without a good cause. Therefore, feel happy and joy, but at the same time, good determination, courage and a commitment that I'm going to really make this more meaningful, to benefit to myself, to the benefit for the others. What a gracious teacher Buddha Shakyamuni said in his teaching, the dual purpose, fulfilling one's own purpose and fulfilling the purpose of others. That is the model, that is the code, that is our hallmark, how we're going to activate it. First, of course, among these two, what do we have to do? Benefit to one's own self is more important. Once you have that, the second goal is to benefit to the others. With the intention level, we can keep that always from the very beginning to benefit for others. But activity level, follow our capabilities. We discussed that briefly, and of course, you all know this very much. That. So, at the way, as I said other day, we reminded to each other of this kind of challenge, difficult times, so that our time of this kind of situation can transforming into the practice of Dharma, something rewarded, so we can be happy afterward. Oh, I did all that situation, things that happened, but I really used my sound so beautifully. It kind of like growth. I brought my growth of the spiritual, of the Dharma realization. I used something. That is a win-win situation. If we do that, we will be happy, not going to be disappointed, all that. Even we have difficulty, troubles, when we have the practice of Dharma in the heart, we can handle so beautiful. Our wisdom is growing. Our wisdom is shining. The inborn wisdom shines so beautifully. We can solve the problems. And they really bring more creativity, or more kind of beautiful activity of the benefit for one's own self to the others. So therefore, this is what we really were reminded to each other each time, for short time, every day, what we've been doing. And we will do continue for a while. So that is precious lives. And the second is the impermanent. We went yesterday too. I mean, you all know that. Impermanent is something that we have to go through. Everyone. Doesn't matter, you're rich, or you're poor, or you're learned, or unlearned, you're very expert, or you're very beautiful, or you're something very kind of luxurious and skilled and very kind of uplift. Everyone is standing and sitting on these impermanent situations. But this is always changing, changing. But this impermanent is also a great advantage. If we use this roller coaster, we can do the really surfing on the samsara, gain the great skills and methods, expertise of our inner qualities of loving kindness, the compassion, wisdom, so that we can help to the others, benefit for all beings. We become the beauty and the beacon of the samsaras. If we use this samsara, impermanent, as I said, surfing board, really we use the skills. It is not going to perish at us in that. Is not just kind of disappointment subjects, but it is the window and the door of the progress and the developments. That is so wonderful, beautiful. That's what all these great masters, Buddha Shakyamuni, everyone did. That's why they become, one of the beautiful symbol of love and compassion, kindness, respect to all living beings. It is really truly, that's what they represent, that's what they taught. That's what we're trying to follow as much as we can. That is really what is this impermanent. And also that is among 4 renunciations, that's true, first 2. And breaks the life, impermanent. And next one is cause and effect are inevitable. And then samsara has difficulty, challenges, difficulties. These 2 are. That order of this, in many Mundo practices, always mentioned the 3rd one is samsara, challenge of the samsara. But what we practicing of the short Mundo by his own Dudjom Rinpoche, order is, 3rd one is, cause and effect are inevitable. So I'm going to follow with that order. Even though it really doesn't matter, it's nothing big, difference at all, just at all. But I follow with this as short mundos and stockings. So 3rd is, the cause and the effect are inevitable. Now, so that means in a simple word, I use word, what that is karma, teachings on the karma. What is teachings on karma? That was the gracious kindness compassion teacher Buddha Shakyamuni taught his first teaching among the 4 noble truths. Suffering truth and cause of suffering truth. That is what it is. Suffering truth and cause of suffering truth. How gracious teacher Buddha said, you must recognize suffering truth. You must give up or abandon the cause of suffering truths. Suffering or the challenge, the difficulty is not arising by itself. It has a cause, it has conditions. This is also that we see in the world, in samsara. So many beings, we all have different features, different experiences, different lifestyles, and different kind of places we stay. It's all different. Why? It's not somebody created according to Buddhism. It all is one's own creation of the karma. Karma is reflecting, or cause of suffering through the reflecting as karma and happening all this. This is a larger level, is known as Buddhism, interdependent coordination systems. Everything is connected. Everything has a cause. Everything has a conditions. This interdependent coordination is what in the teaching you many times said. All things, all phenomena are come from the cause. That cause is told by the Tathagatas. One who said that clearly, that is a great sage. One who said that, great sage. That's a roughly translation. Is in the Sanskrit, what do we usually normally chant? Ye Dharma, Hedu, Parbhava, Hedun, Teshin, Tathagata, Hayo, Vade, Takitsayo, Nirodha, Evam, Vade, Mahasharmana. That is the teaching. Interdependent coordination. All phenomena. What means all phenomena? The all phenomena, the samsara comes from the cause and the condition or interdependent coordination, and all phenomena nirvana comes from the cause and the condition or interdependent coordination. For that reason, great master Nagarjuna said in his teachings that there is nothing is arising without the interdependent coordination systems. Nothing is arising. Whether it is samsara, whether it is nirvana. If it is interdependent coordination systems, all is emptiness. All is emptiness. So this related truth is nothing but display of the interdependent coordination. How that interdependent coordination systems arise is also follow the same rhythm, even though it's a display of the illusion, magical, but it follow the system exactly what cause is. Cause life and follow the exactly result of that life. Never changes, not mixing up that. If cause in that, for example, if we plant it on the external level, if we speak, if cause is seed, is apple seed, and plant a nice soil, perfect places, it will bring the apple fruit. When you plant the seed of apple, it's not going to bring the fruit of the orange. Never going to bring. It's exactly, if that seed is perfectly delicious with the soil area, fertilized nice, it will bring the result golden delicious. Or the gala apples. Whatever it is, exactly that follow. It's not mixing, not changing. That's how the external law of the interdependent coordination systems works. Brilliant. Of course, you all know that. That just, I'm reminded, we all, each of us. And then inner level, everything is dependent again with the same thing. Good cause and will bring good result. Or good cause of the motivation will bring good result. If it's a bad motivation, it will bring the bad result. So this again, now we talk about, particularly talking about the karma. That's something connected with our individualism. This karma is again, as already I said, and you all basically know that, but again reminding, where is the karma is from, coming from? It's from the mind. It's not really coming from outside anyway. It is from the mind. And what kind of a mind is? And mind is, again, great master Nagarjuna said in the teaching, said that, if is the mind is anger, or mind is ignorance, and mind is attachment, if those kind of a combination of mind will bring the unvirtuous. Unvirtuous. So that means unvirtuous. Negativity. That become the negativity is the become cause of suffering truth. Negative emotions are the cause of suffering. What kind of sufferings? When we are anger, or when we are ignorance, and when we are in attachment, and with that combination, with that motivation, that when it's reflected that externally, what it does, it hurts someone. It disturbs someone. And not just it disturbs someone when we reflected that to the externally, but even ourselves, one who is in anger, one who is in a great attachment, one is a great ignorant state, then we are dilemma. That individual is a dilemma. This individual is confused. This individual is in a dark status. And that reflects to the externally. Then all the difficult troubles that comes. But that is known as a creation of karma from the mind of negativities. Our negativity, mind, reflected verbally, physically, to the someone who is kind of targeted, and it did that. According to the density of the negativities, and then it hurt so many beings that time. Now karma is not ended there. That is the beginning, according to Buddha's teaching. It is the beginning. Beginning. It's not ended there. It is the beginning. And then it will be continued. It's like ripple, waves of ripples that continually goes on and on. And each time different cause and condition clash with that and create more karma, and then goes on and on. That is known as negative karmas. So negative karma is nothing but creation of our own mind. Mind. And then on the other hand, the positives. Positive is also, if I use the word virtues and unvirtuous. In other words, the unvirtuous is the, again, result of the negative mind, negative emotions. Virtuous is then result of the positive mind. And what is the positive mind? Opposite of those three. The ignorance, attachment, and angers. opposite of that. And when that means what? If ignorant, opposite of ignorant is what? Wisdom. Opposite of the attachment is loving kindness, compassion. And opposite of the anger is again compassion, love. That is. Or opposite of the attachment is the detachment. Opposite of the anger is loving kindness, compassion. Compassion. And when the mind is that status, settled in that status, that this beautiful attitude is in our mind and heart, when it is reflecting that verbally, physically, that is known as the activity of the virtues. It's going to benefit someone. Loving kindness, compassion, wisdom, activity is not going to disturb anyone. It will help. Particularly love and compassion activity guided by the wisdom is just right, perfect dosages. Whoever needed to help is not pushy, not kind of imposing, but it is perfect benefit. That's what the reason, what gracious kindness teacher Buddha Shakyamuni said, do help others according their readiness. That you understand, right? We understand that. Readiness. That means even if it's something good and special, and we kind of push it, then it becomes not really benefiting. It becomes resistant. It's not accepting, you're not actually really benefiting. Even our motivation is good and beautiful things, but if we are pushy, if we are imposing, we are kind of forcing that, then it's not a skillful means. That was called unskillful means. Why that unskillful means comes? Because maybe we don't have enough kind of common sense, or we didn't use enough common sense, or maybe we didn't use enough kind of our intelligence, inborn wisdoms. So therefore, do help and support according readiness of the others. But at the same time, what the gracious teacher Buddha Shakyamuni said, also your capabilities. Even if something good and important benefit, do your range of your own capabilities. So that means what? When we help and support to someone else, we should be also always happy, joy, peaceful, relaxed, calm, openness mind. When that state we help, truly then it's become very beautiful. Also help and reflect that so beautifully out and according their readiness. Then it kind of goes on. Your readiness, your capability will be, our capability will grow, and their readiness will grow in a deep, you do the proper, perfect ways. Perfect way. So that is what is really known as the virtues. So now these virtues and the non-virtues, both are based upon our own motivations. The negative motivation is then unvirtuous, and the positive virtues is then, positive mind or motivation is then virtues. Now, this will be talking about the virtues and the non-virtues. Then there's that, of course, I think you know that. There is known as the non-virtues and forbidden non-virtues, or non-virtues and restricted non-virtues. So now I use two non-virtues. One is just non-virtues, and the other is restricted or forbidden non-virtues. Two virtues. What that means? Natural virtues, natural unvirtues, the unvirtues or natural unvirtues or unvirtues. That is universally proved negativities, such as killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, deceiving, slender, gossip, and covetousness, and violence of thought, and completely close our mind. Those are all known as unvirtuous. Those are all naturally unvirtuous. Then I use the second terminology, the forbidden unvirtuous, or restricted unvirtuous. Those are such as Buddha Shakyamuni gave, so many guidelines, rules. Many of those are known as restricted unvirtuous. Such as fully ordained monks should not have afternoon foods. And also such as the Buddha gives so many guidelines of how the ordained monks or ordained ones are going to eat, how they're going to sit, how they're going to speak, and how they're going to chew the food. For example, in the teaching always, this is just one example. While you are eating food, we should not move the food from one side to the other side. So this side, where you're eating, that whatever spoonful, forkful you put in your mouth, not going to put that in the left side of this. I'm sure you see this, and this side, and they put this other side immediately moving forward. And then also, Buddha often mentioned in the teaching, while you're eating, not speaking so loudly, or even not speaking. And food, so you should take food as medicines. Food as medicine, sustaining our bodies, helping to all the cells of the body. All those, and how you dress up of course there's not many dresses, but what you wear robes, how you should dress. Those are all known as restricted unvirtuous. If we keep those perfectly, it's not unvirtuous. But if we kind of against it and we miss those things, kind of ignore that, then it becomes the restricted unvirtuous. And that is similar, for example, also in the laws, in the common laws, there's so many rules. When you're driving on the street, highways, sometimes it said 55 miles per hour. If you drive maybe 60, 85 miles per hour, that is then you've been beyond the rules. Then it's break the rules. Actually, reality level is nothing negative or anything like that. But it has some reasons they put the rules. 55 miles per hour, or 65 miles per hour, or 75 miles per hour. Whatever they put, we maintain that range, then we are perfect. This is not unvirtuous. But if we break that rule, then we know police can stop and they give tickets to us. That is kind of like similar, restricted, unvirtuous. So this is what all known as, and this is what, when we do those things, what happened, whether it is a virtuous or non-virtuous, what it does, then we create the karma. It creates the karma. Then karma is not just going to, whether it is virtuous or non-virtuous, it creates the karma. Even the smallest the karma action can be big result. And in the Buddha teaching often mentioned, for example, small sparking fire can burn whole areas. That we know. This in the Buddha teaching mentioned, we see this so many times. Those fires started from small things can be burned. And also even the small things can bring huge result, benefit, good things. So therefore, what in the teaching said, even in the smallest things, if it's good, shouldn't ignore, do that. Be happy with that. Even in the smallest things, the negatives, trying to don't also kind of ignore and trying to avoid that. Avoid that. That if we do that, then what is that? That is known as mindfulness. Then we are keeping perfectly. Everything is becoming perfect and beautiful. Then when the karma is kind of rapidly, is not going to finish right there, as I said. It's going to go on and on. In the teaching said, the minimum karma is going to go again and again 500 times. at least, minimum, it could go over 500 times the result. One time we did, but it has a ripple effect of 500 times, minimum, whether it's good or bad. Bad. So this is the really how. And it is also not going to, karma is not, according to teaching, is not going to be experienced by anyone. We cannot transfer that to anyone. We cannot kind of share that karma to anyone. Whatever we did, we will, or whoever did that, we will, that individually experience it clearly, soundly, or clearly with the sound and brilliant with themselves. And therefore, it is for that reason, gracious teacher Buddha Shakyamuni said in the teaching, karma will not be experienced by the water, fire, wind, earth, or cannot be transferred to anyone. Always it comes to one's own self. It will come back to the dual itself. It could take so many years, so many eons, but when the conditions are perfect, it will materialize exactly that. And for that reason, what again Buddha said in one of his teachings, he told his disciple kings, "O great king, when you leave this world, nothing your retinues or your luxuries will follow, except only the karma. Karma will follow with you." What that means, according, our body is left behind when we die, for example. Body is behind, is gone. But what is that? Who will going to take rebirth? Is consciousness. So karma is combined with consciousness. Consciousness, it will go. And then it will go, as he said, it could be happened next lifetime, or after a few times, or maybe many lifetimes. But surely it will happen. Unless we start to purify, recognize and purify. Then in the teaching said, if you start doing the purification practice according to the teaching mentioned, whatever you method you use, it will lighten the karmas. It will light the karma as much as you do the practice, and then can clear away those karmas. But otherwise, it will ripen, it will come on that exactly to dual itself. It will never going to escape that. So that is my brief talk. And the karma is, again, is what? Suffering truth. Karma is a suffering truth. Or truth of troubles. Truth of challenges. And what is the cause of, whether we use the terminology, trouble, challenge, or suffering, cause is negative emotions or positive thought. It started from our mind. Therefore, always it's a kind of thoughtful with our actions. Whether it's big and small, we thoughtful if we do that, then it's also known as disciplined, gentle and peaceful. Beautiful, gentle, peaceful manner. So always beautiful. It is a gentleman, it is a gentle ladies. It is good, it's an ornament. Now, of course, all different ornaments we have in the world. But when we are gentle, peaceful, mindful, more thoughtful, that is true, the beautiful ornament. That will be admired, according to Buddha's teaching, even the gods in the heavens, they will admire that. Even the non-visible beings admire that beautiful, gentle, peaceful attitude. And that will. And there's a story of that the ancient time. Two Paul friends. Paul friends is a long time. Those are the former life story of the Buddha Shakyamuni. Always at Tibetan monasteries, they have those illustrations. I'm not going to talk all those things. You all know. That is how this four friend becomes so beautiful, so friendly and harmonious, peaceful. Not just when they become so harmonious, peaceful, the whole area becomes so harmonious, so peaceful. There is a timely seasons, raining timely, winters are coming timely, or seasons are coming all timely. The climate is really changed in the teaching said. And then when in the Tushita heaven, God will see these things, what the beautiful things happen in some old world, and how that happened, all that, and many gods say, oh, those are the reason of this. Four friends so harmonized, so peaceful. That energy is spreading to everywhere. Nowadays everything becomes so perfectly beautiful. Perfectly beautiful. It's just like so harmonized, everything kind of calm, peaceful, gentle, seasoning everything perfectly. And for example, this time there's so many kind of natural disasters, one after another happening, because it's also our old kind of emotions rolling constantly and thinking of all different things. It also can be reflected too, according to great teacher Buddha Shakyamuni and other great masters too. So therefore, our love and kindness, the compassion, and good attitude is also great distribution or contribution to the climate change and the environment level. And that's my reminder. And thank you very much everyone again for participating. And again, we see you tomorrow. Now we do the second our batch of the meditation. Thank you everyone.